Welcome back to our episode 3 of RN series. And now I'm going to share with you the step-by-step process of nurse registration in Australia and the basic requirements that you will need to prepare. So without further ado, let's get started. Now the first step that you need to do is to self-check-in in the AFRA website. In self-check-in, the information you provide about your qualifications will be used to determine the likely steps or the assessment stages to successfully complete to be eligible to apply for registration as a nurse in Australia. If you find yourself eligible for registration, you will now move on to your next step, which is to register on the AFRA website. Upon registration, AFRA will then assess your qualification based on the information that you have provided in the self-check-in. Now, the overview of the steps will then be outlined for you and a case number will be provided. Now, let's break down the steps of getting registered as a nurse in Australia. After the registration process, you have to pay for the assessment fee, which is 410 Australian dollars, in order for you to progress through the assessment stages. Unfortunately, this fee is non-refundable just in case you've not satisfied the registration requirements, and you are also given 90 days from creating your account to pay for the assessment fee. After that, you will now be given access to the orientation, which is an online e-learning module. Orientation part takes about 60 to 90 minutes to complete, and you are given 90 days to complete the orientation. After completing the orientation part, you need to complete your portfolio. These are official documents for all qualifications relevant to your nursing degree, and it must be uploaded in the online portfolio. After providing the necessary documents in your portfolio, you will then proceed to the examination part. So the first exam that you need to pass is the multiple choice question examination of the National Council Licensure Examination for Registered Nurses. The National Council of State Boards of Nursing develops and administers the NCLEX RN through Pearson VUE, and once you have registered with Pearson VUE and AFRA has made you eligible to sit the NCLEX RN, Pearson VUE sends an authorization to test, which is your ATT, on your email that contains your unique ID number and an authorization number that you must have in order to schedule their examination sitting note. So each ATT email is valid for a designated time period, which is 90 calendar years. In terms of exam results, it will be released by AFRA within 6 weeks of the examination sitting date. The second exam that you need to pass is the OSCE, or the Objective Structured Clinical Exam. The OSCE consists of 10 stations or clinical scenarios that have been developed to test candidates against the NMPA Registered Nurse Standards for Practice. The OSCE is to set to an entry to practice level that is expected of a registered nurse in Australia. After you have passed both exams, which are NCLEX RN and OSCE, now to the most exciting part, which is applying for nurse registration in Australia. At this point, you may now list down the basic requirements that you will need to prepare. Number 1, we have personal documents such as birth certificate and passport. Number 2, we have education or academic documents such as TOR and diploma. Number 3, we have work documents such as certificate of employment. And another is English requirement. And that's it for our RN series episode 3. But there are still more topics coming, so if you want to know more about this opportunity, stay tuned to another RN series next week, Monday. See you!